What's up, YouTube? BTB Big Time Breaks back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about something I've been anticipating for a long time, and that is the Stone Cold podcast with Dean Ambrose. Two of my current favorite and my all-time favorite wrestlers. So this was pretty cool for me. But you really got a lot out of this, this whole interview, this whole podcast. And I just want to hit on the main things that I got out of it. First of all, you really saw in the beginning, it started out as kind of awkward. Like the first 15 minutes, Stone Cold asked Dean several times about his childhood. And this is traditionally what Dean does when he's asked about his childhood. He simply just deflects all questions. He doesn't like to talk about it. Stone Cold asks him, did you have a rough childhood? Dean, replies no. He said he wouldn't really change much, which, you got to respect Dean for that. He didn't grow up in the best upbringing, and that's, well documented, honestly. And Stone Cold, brought several things up that, are widely considered to be, factual things, and I think they are. And Dean, like I said, just kind of shut him off throughout the whole interview, the whole podcast about, stuff he didn't want to talk about. And, I guess he doesn't have to talk about it. But, you saw in Steve's face, Stone Cold, that he just, he wanted a little bit more out of Dean in terms of his upbringing. And Stone Cold does ask difficult questions. And when you had a childhood like Dean did, which wasn't the best situation, it is kind of hard to, expand upon that, and, it could probably get pretty emotional, honestly. But this was an awkward point in the whole podcast. But once they moved on from that, the interview started to pick up a lot. It became, this was just an awesome interview. The last half hour, especially, was just, talking about Dean and his, his early wrestling career, into his FCW career, into NXT, and then into WWE with the Shield and to current day. And that was really fun to listen to. But just a couple things I found really interesting. About 3/4 of the way through the interview, through the podcast, Stone Cold asked Dean about his match with Lesnar at 32, which when I was there, I marked out when Ambrose came out because, hey, if he won, that would be a huge deal. I didn't think he was going to win, but still, man, I thought it would be, a big moment for Dean just to be in the ring. But if he got the win, that would be awesome too. Dean pretty much he does call Brock Lesnar lazy. If you remember the build up to the match, essentially there were chainsaws involved and just all this crazy stuff, like just like crazy stuff and stuff John Moxley, which is Dean Ambrose before Dean Ambrose, would have done. And that's what I would have liked to see him do in that match. But Ambrose pretty much calls him lazy. Ambrose tried to get with Lesnar, and Lesnar was pretty much not having it. He said, Dean Ambrose said that Lesnar was pretty just lazy overall in booking. And that was, that definitely came off on, camera and live when I was watching it. It just seemed like, wow, that was what I was looking forward to. That's what I came to WrestleMania 32 for. It disappointed, and everyone I've talked to said that match was not what it was supposed to be. I remember reports saying that Creative wouldn't allow it. I think Creative would have gave him more leeway than they did. Obviously, it wouldn't have been like his old school matches, but they didn't do much. They broke out the kendo sticks and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. And it was a dud of a match, in my opinion. But that's one thing that definitely popped out for me. And then lastly, this was another big thing. Stone Cold pretty much kind of calls Dean out and says, he wants him to, step it up. Getting to the top of the mount, so to speak, and winning the title is one thing, but staying there is a whole different thing. And, you know, when the last couple minutes, Stone Cold asked him, do you feel disrespected? I said that to you. He says, yes. I'm like, oh, God, another angle for 33, WrestleMania 33, but nothing ever really turned out. Essentially, when Stone Cold said that to Dean, you saw it in his face. You know, he wants to do more, go over the line, but it's PG, and PG does not allow for, you know, people going, doing the things he used to do. Let's just say that. So, you know, Stone Cold's asking for a little more oomph out of Dean Ambrose, but I think, you know, he's doing as much as he can, or close to as much as he can. He probably could do a little bit more, but something Stone Cold has never realized, and when I listen to his podcast twice a week, you hear it. You know, he wants the old Attitude Era type feel back, where you could just, you know, I mean, he just wants the Attitude Era back, and I can't blame him, because that's a hell of an era, but, I mean, it's not coming back anytime soon. So, you know, I know what Stone Cold was trying to do, you know, get him to step it up, so to speak, but honestly, man, it was a great podcast. I really enjoyed listening to these two. It was a real treat. You know, the WWE Network with these podcasts with Stone Cold, they're just awesome. I just look forward to them every month. So overall, the podcast was awesome. I really enjoyed it. Kind of awkward start, but as it progressed, Dean got more comfortable with Stone Cold, and it was overall just awesome. Just an awesome podcast. So if you haven't, try and get on the network, or find it on Daily Motion or YouTube or somewhere. But I'm just here to say, yes, if you're on the fence about listening to it and spending close to an hour, you need to do so. A must listen if you're a Dean Ambrose fan, and even if you're not, I think it's a really good listen. So I've kept you guys for about 7 minutes, and that might be a little too long. Didn't want to even do it this long, but hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up, and this is BTB Big Time Breaks, and I'm out to the next one.